evening, useless eaters. Are you ready for it to get dark at 4 p.m.? Daylight savings time. Almost as big of a scam as Biden's Autopen. And all these freaking SNAP benefits people are getting. I did not realize until recently that 42 million people get SNAP, government-assisted food benefits. 42 million. 100 billion dollars per year. And what do they go and buy? Frickin' Sody Pop and Pop-Tarts. Maybe Cheerios. They buy garbage shit food that makes them fat, stupid, and depressed. And then they end up getting sick and degenerative diseased. Have to go to the doctor. With health care that's probably government funded too. So they take our money to buy shit food. Go get Medcare. Taxpayers got to pay for. And this cycle ensues. God. Coca-Cola and Kroger absolutely love SNAP. You know they do. So does Pfizer and Bayer. Just the whole system. It's all fucked. It's all fucked. FUBAR. Effed up beyond all recognition. God, you gotta hand it to the globalists, though. You gotta hand it to the New World Order. It's just the way they set it all up. Amazing. Incredible. Genius, even. Evil genius, but gosh. All right. What's up, chat? I'll say hi to you guys for a sec, and then we'll get into today's topics, and then open it up for more Q&A with some tunes at the end. Greetings from Oklahoma, Alabama, Texas. Got a lot of Southerners here tonight. Yeah. Vegas. Greetings from FEMA Region 1. Nice. I dig that. My opinions on David Icke. All right. I'll answer that real quick. I like his old work. I got one of those thick-ass books from him that he wrote like 20 years ago, but his more modern stuff, especially when he tries to get political, I think he's a little diet woke in that regard. Just kind of one of those old, crusty boomers stuck in their ways, is what it is. So his takes on current events, I don't pay too much attention to. I do wonder, though, since he purports to be such a hated man by the establishment, how they let him sell out Wembley. When did he do that? Within the last 10 years. Was that 2017 when he sold out Wembley? Odd thing to do when you're so hated by the establishment. But anyway. Plus the whole shape-shifting reptilian thing. Weird to me. Maybe life out there in the cosmos takes those kinds of forms, but it's the shape-shifting thing that I think is a little much. Some Hawaii friends tuning in. Canada. Nice. Remove high fructose. I agree. High fructose corn syrup. That genetically engineered corn syrup. But we also need to restructure the government subsidies that go to mainly genetically engineered crops, corn, soy, canola. All right, so, okay. Kind of the same revolving door there. Taxpayer dollars go to support farmers, which is fine, but the farmers buy the patented seed year after year from Monsanto, Bayer, Dow Agro, Cargill, Syngenta. And then don't our taxpayer dollars also help support these biotech companies in their research too? Seems weird. So we give them money to research the seeds that they force the farmers to have to buy from them. And then we also pay the farmers so they can buy those seeds. Oh my God. FUBAR, man. FUBAR is the word of the evening. Acronym of the evening. FUBAR. a good one. If you've never heard of it before, look it up. Love that phrase. FUBAR. All right. Before we get started talking about a bunch of FUBAR things tonight, Biden's Autopen, Arctic frost, bombshells. So the House Intel Committee put out a report on Biden's Autopen that we'll take a look at. And then the whole Arctic frost saga, which is like Crossfire Hurricane from 2017 2.0. You know, Crossfire Hurricane was the whole Russiagate spy on Trump campaign first election. Then right after the second election, 2020 stolen election, Biden's FBI ran another total scam op. Arctic frost, they're calling it. They called it. And Arctic frost was Biden's FBI's way of freaking spying on everybody, man. Freaking everybody. And that's what we're learning about Arctic frost is just how many everybody's they were spying on. And then what else? Layoffs at CBS. Best news of the night. Bunch of layoffs at big tech companies too. They're blaming it on AI. I don't know, maybe. Might just be an excuse. We'll take a look at Grokipedia and see how much Grokaganda it gives us. Haha, Grokaganda. Yeah, I did some testing with Grokipedia today, and I'm not sold on it. It's kind of weird. Propagandist, Grokagandist. And we'll see what else we talk about too. I don't know. I've got so many tabs loaded up here, I kind of forget. So, real quick though, before we get started, since I'm not monetized and I do not make $7,000 per post, I got to do this. If you want to support the shows, look at the products from A La Conscious Strength, consciousstrength.net. I've got methylene blue on there, electrolyte powder, greens powder that won't cost you frickin' $90 like some of these other companies out there. Curcumin for your joints. Oregano oil for cold and flu season coming up. And some other stuff too. Right now, got a buy one, get one half off sale going on with the She-Legit gummies. That ends Friday, Halloween, at midnight. Buy one, get one half off. Get the second one for $11. Go check it out. And then, if you're not interested in the supplements, but you still want to support, go check out Patreon. Locals. And then you can find other ways to support as well. Buy me a coffee, PayPal, Venmo, blah, 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 crypto. Also, next week, I will be in Cocoa Beach, Florida, for the Badlands Media GART. GART number 10. Wow, 10 of them. Cocoa Beach, Florida. So I'm going to do my best to stream while I'm there. Don't know. Internet at that place should be good. Should be fine. Internet should be good. We'll just do my best to make time for it. But I'll record some videos at least, if not stream, while I'm out there. Won't be a long trek for me. It's kind of out and back dealio. Not going to be spending any extra days out there. So at most, I'll just be missing like one, maybe two videos. But yeah, if you want to watch live, virtual tickets are available. Badlandsmedia.tv. There's an event tab up there, and you can check out this upcoming GART and then when and where they're going to be all next year, too. Next year. Should be fun. There might be a rocket launch while we're out there. I was checking out the Kennedy Space Center space launch schedule, and looks like Jeff Bezos might be shooting off one of his rockets on that Saturday evening. So if he does, we'll see if we can go down to the beach viewing area, and I'll be sure to give Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket a big fat middle finger while it's going up. James Banks, bring back real butter. Real butter. Remove margarine. Margin. Remove margin, it says. Yeah, I hate margins too, man. When I write, I go all the way to the edges. It's just wasted paper if you have margins on your documents. I do prefer butter. Olive oil for low heat cooking. Butter or coconut oil. Coconut oil makes good high heat cooking oil. I don't like to cook in tallow, quite honestly. I'm not much of a tallow guy. I like tallow for skincare products, but it's just sad. Like, butter's sustainable. You don't have to kill the cow to get butter, but you do have to kill the cow to get tallow. So, granted, it's good to use all the parts of an animal when you do dispatch them, but I'm concerned about the whole tallow craze getting way too big, and then people are just out there friggin' farming, killing cows for tallow. So, whoa, hold up, gotta dude to nuke. All right, you've been put in timeout, sir. Spamming my chat. Duckman says, I know there's cheating in Snap. Yeah, right? I wonder how many dead people and 300-year-olds are getting Snap benefits. We should probably Doge the shit out of it. Which Snap is under the USDA. So that would be the USDA. We have to Doge. And I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I would imagine there's quite a bit of bucks that big ag factory farm companies like Glanbia and biotech companies, Syngenta, balls deep in the USDA corruption, right? Man, those dead Duppy. Those dead people eat a lot. They sure do. Why are they getting so many SNAP benefits? And Social Security. And they're voting. Grandpa, I thought you died 20 years ago. How are you still voting? And getting all this government money. All right. Best news first. CBS staffers lose jobs in bloodbath as part of sweeping cuts from Paramount. Paramount laying off about 1,000 workers, including some in news. Wah wah.
This is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
$2 billion in cost cutting. You know that Barry Weiss lady recently was named CEO of CBS, right? And I don't know about Barry Weiss. I'm not sold on her. I don't know too much about her, but I don't know how the hell she was given hundreds of millions of dollars for her little news organization. That doesn't make sense. But maybe, just maybe, she's cleaning out CBS. I don't know. I still won't watch them. Unless I want a good laugh. Or maybe get myself brainwashed. Trump meeting with Japan's prime minister. Japan's new first female prime minister, ex-heavy metal drummer. She looks happy to see him. They met on an aircraft carrier near Japan. Held a little press conference together and then announced some news afterwards. One of those pieces of news they announce. Bunch of trade deals. You know, Trump making a bunch of trade deals going through Asia this week. Big trade deal with Korea announced today. I think Korea said they were going to invest $600 billion across the states in the coming years. Something like that. I think that's the number, $600 billion. I don't know the specifics on it, but a lot of trade deals. The one with Japan, Toyota pledged $10 billion towards new auto plants in the U.S. Trump says, go out and buy a Toyota. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Real men drive Toyotas and own Glocks. Now, here's the thing, though. All right. Hopefully, Toyota's moving away from all their electric vehicle bullshit. Hybrids, I'm cool with. I'm all cool with hybrids, but full electric vehicles. Such a small use case. I saw... Sorry, tangent here. So I'll go to the chat. I saw Las Vegas Police Department. Somebody posted it somewhere and I saw it. I don't know who. But I guess this week or recently, Las Vegas Police Department made some PR post about, look at our new squad of Cybertrucks. This is going to make maintenance costs for the department much lower with our fleet of new LVPD Cybertrucks. Dude. They just take us for retarded. Or they're retarded. Or both. Lower maintenance costs with Cybertrucks? You gotta be kidding me. First of all, you're paying what? $100,000 each unit? Second of all, those batteries are gonna drain so fast. With cops sitting there, idling, having to run the AC all day because you're in freaking Vegas. They're gonna get like 2 hours out of them. Those batteries are going to go quick. And then maintenance costs. Just electric vehicles. There's such a small use case for them. And just the simple fact that 300-mile range tops. And you got to sit there and charge it. Takes, if you're lucky and have a supercharger, half hour. But more realistically, multiple hours. And it's a mess. So... hopefully Toyota's moving away. I mean, Trump, I believe today, posted that the whole Green New Deal scam thing's done for. The climate change hoax is done. Toyota building manufacturing plants in the States. I'm sorry, I'm still, until they prove to me that the quality control is going to be worth it to buy a US-made Toyota, I will still prefer the Japanese-made Toyotas because the best Toyota products come from this plant in Japan. It's called the Tahara plant. And the Tahara plant basically makes all versions of the Lexus. They make the bomb-proof Land Cruisers, and they make 4Runners. One of my favorite vehicles ever. Except the new generation. New generation sucks. But, 5th generation and earlier 4Runners are some of my favorite vehicles ever. And they all come from this Tahara plant, which is like the best quality control, spec'd out, detailed manufacturing plant in the world, pretty much. If Toyota can copy that here in the States, I'm all for it. But that remains to be seen. And if they can get these garbage-ass turbos out of all their new vehicles. Tundras, Toyotas, 4Runners, everything's got a friggin' turbo in it now. Less cylinders, more turbo. Break down sooner. Me no want that. Me want naturally aspirated engine. Well, ideally, me want car that run on water. But everybody that makes those seems to get suicided. So, in the current slave system, I'll deal with a naturally aspirated engine, please, thanks. But we'll see. Toyota pledges $10 billion toward a new auto plant. Also, U.S. and Japan leaders sign rare earths and nuclear power deal ahead of Trump-Xi meeting. Yeah, that's right. They met today, didn't they? Trump and Xi. Xi Jinping met, I think, just a few hours ago. Maybe right now. But before that, Trump signed a nuclear power deal with Japan. I don't even know how many countries Trump has signed a nuclear power deal with yet at this point. Many countries. UK. Turkey? Was Turkey one of them? Tons of nuclear deals are being made. Nuclear is the way forward. 5 to 10 years, nuclear will be far bigger than it is, and it will come in the form of small modular reactors, molten salt cooled, thorium based, much safer, much smaller, much easier and cheaper to build. Small modular reactors. That will be big, actually. That'll be one step towards much more decentralization and being able to power these data centers too. All these big AI data centers coming out will be nuclear. So good first step. First step. Best next step. And then after that, we can look at even more decentralized tech, space-based solar power, maybe someday the, yes, free energy or 0-point energy technologies, but again, inventors getting suicided, working on that stuff too. Although times are shifting. The government is changing, and more people are waking up to the reality and ability of that kind of technology and working on them. And with the internet, they're able to protect themselves with publicity. So times are changing to where 0-point technologies are having an easier time going public. I think. Opinion. Speaking of AI data centers, Energy Department announces new partnership with NVIDIA and Oracle to build the largest Department of Energy AI supercomputer. They're going to use like 100,000 NVIDIA GPUs, and it's going to be a giant freaking brain. They're building Skynet or something. That's cool, though, I guess. One of my daydream hypotheticals, I guess you could say. If the Trump administration or future government wanted to get like 0-point energy or anti-gravity out to the public, or just get something out to the public that the deep state had been hiding for 80 years, they could blame AI. That would be their limited hangout way of disclosing it, which would kind of suck, but that would have to be their off-ramp to, you know, tell the public while maintaining some sense of structure in the system. I'm not describing that the best, but do it in a way that doesn't piss everybody off or make them deny reality. Oh, AI helped us figure out friggin' how to make anti-gravity spaceships and free energy devices. AI breakthrough. And then people will believe it. But if they came out and said, oh yeah, the Illuminati's been hiding anti-gravity tech for 80 years. We can actually do this. They wouldn't believe it. I think they're going to use AI as an excuse for some things in the coming years. Oh yeah, AI helped us find signatures of advanced alien life out in the cosmos. Oh yeah, okay, it was AI. Which, I don't know. I would like the full truth, but if full truth is too much for mainstream public, then whatever. I'll take that AI excuse. Just disclose this shit. Get the ball rolling. I think that will happen. They'll use AI as a way, as their avenue to disclose certain things. Clip this last 2 minutes of video. It's going to become more relevant in 3 years. Oversight Committee releases a report on the Biden Autopen presidency. This is their report. Decline, delusion, and deception in the White House.
I wish the government would just ban itself.
It's basically 100 pages of interviews and depositions that the House Intel Committee did with Biden administration officials. And it's basically 100 pages of them just not saying anything and pleading the fifth. But it's also 100 pages of,
No shit, Sherlock.
yeah, we knew that guy had Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and dementia all wrapped up together, mangled in his brain. We know his neurons didn't work at all. He barely had two that fired together. But James Comer's out here going on John Solomon's show. So if it's John Solomon, that's signal. Anything John Solomon reports on or people he interviews, signal. This is what Representative James Comer had to say about the Biden Autopen report that his committee just put out.
Yes, and I think that the DOJ needs to take this and run. John, we've handed this to Pam Bondi on a silver platter.
Yep,
We've done all the heavy lifting. We've done the depositions. We've combed through the emails. I mean, this is the hard, tedious work of an investigation. Now it's up to her to bring these people in. If there's anything in the report that's inaccurate, if there's anything in the deposition that we reported that are mischaracterized, now here's your opportunity to try to defend the other position. If not, then the report is 100% accurate, and the pardons need to be declared null and void immediately. I would go further, but now this is me, and I would hold some of these people accountable for misrepresenting the president's health and for abusing their power as a bureaucrat in the White House.
Yeah, we kind of all know that. Sorry, I'm getting distracted with people saying the Rumble chat's not working. Dal says trying to put in some $10 Rumble rants, and the chat's not updating. So I'm going into Rumble, right? And maybe Rumble's having some problems. My stream's fine, Restream's fine, OBS is fine. Maybe Rumble's just having some trubs. Yeah, chat's not updating at all. Test. Oh no, man, give me a sec. Yeah, it's not working. Why you do this, Rumble? Why you do this? Maybe try refreshing. All right, back to this. Arctic frost. So that was Biden Autopen scandal. It's going to blow up. I mean, the whole Biden Autopen scandal thing is going to blow up. They, at some point, will likely say that the pardons Joe Biden gave are null and void. So the likes of Fauci can get prosecuted. I'm sure Rand Paul is salivating over that idea. And then, yeah, the whole Hunter Biden pardon too. All of it. So, plus executive orders. Would that not make then those executive orders in question? Interesting times coming up. Arctic frost. So new Arctic frost whistleblower documents show that the corrupt Biden FBI subpoenaed the bank records, donor lists, emails of nearly every major conservative organization and leader in the country, including Trump's campaign, the RNC, Conservative Partnership Institute, Save America PAC, America First Policy Institute, and even My Frickin' Pillow. Man. Not My Pillow, how could you? He just wants to sell you textiled goods. America First Policy Institute. Everybody. New FBI files reveal Jack Smith targeted basically the entire Republican apparatus. These are those documents compiled by Senate Judiciary Committee staff. They've got the date. I'm guessing this is what the whistleblower gave them. They've got document name, the date, the date of the subpoena, subpoena recipient, and subject for which testimony, documents, and or communication were requested. So, freaking load of them here. Dan Scavino. They subpoenaed his JP Morgan Chase bank account? They subpoenaed Dan Scavino's bank account? Stephen Miller's National Capital Bank, probably bank account. Sidney Powell's Wells Fargo bank account. These were all in October 2022. I mean, this is 20 pages. Another bank account of Sidney Powell. Friggin' everything from this political action committee. And this one. And this one. Save America, Trump's committee, MAGA PAC. America First Policy Institute bank accounts. Yo. How many Fed boys would you even need to sit there and scrub through all of these records? GoDaddy? They subpoenaed the GoDaddy records for the Trump campaign. And the Salesforce records for the Trump campaign. What else we got? What else? I don't know. That's a lot of words. Too bad I'm not reading them. But we get an idea of how deep they went. Pretty ridiculous. All right. ICE. ICE. Baby. Major shakeup of ICE leadership underway across the country and move to increase deportations. This is as per Tom Homan. Apparently they, senior DHS and Trump admin sources are saying a mass removal of ICE leadership is across the country right now underway, with up to 12 ICE field office chiefs being removed and reassigned in an effort to increase those rookie deportation numbers. A handful of the ICE chiefs will likely be replaced by Border Patrol officials, some of whom will be handpicked by Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino. Because Tom Homan wants to get those numbers up.
In any way accurate, Tom?
Look, we're all being aggressive. I've said from day one we're going to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats. But if you're in the country legally, you're not off the table, we'll arrest you too. So the numbers speak for themselves, Laura. Most secure border in history of this nation. Over 23,000 missing kids have been found and saved. And we have a record number of arrests and deportation. We're going to hit 600,000 real soon, which will be a historic record. And we're going to keep going. As we get more agents on, you're going to see arrests increase twice, 3 times. You're going to see that.
I love Tom Homan. A+ for his work so far as a part of the Trump administration. What did he say? 600,000. They're going to hit 600,000 real soon. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, how many... We don't even have an actual number. Just general estimates of how many illegals are in this country. And also the number of how many came into the country under Biden. 600,000 is probably 7% of how many actual illegals are in this country. He wants arrests to go up 2 to 3 times, which also means there's going to be more black bloc Soros goons out there. So that also is likely why the Pentagon has directed and ordered the National Guard to establish a nationwide QRF, Quick Reaction Force, by January, designed to rapidly respond to potential riots, civil disturbance, and other instances of domestic unrest across the United States. You guys, we got National Guard QRFs before GTA 6. They're going to be flying in Chinook helicopters, landing in the middle of the highway. In the middle of the street, right next to the ICE offices. Loads of National Guard troops just rushing out of the back of the Chinooks. Setting up perimeters. Keep them Antifers out. Bradley armored vehicles being dropped off, airlifted in via helicopter. I mean, the idea of a QRF is as soon as possible. Get there to, help support the forces that need to be relieved. So, 20 minutes, half hour, nearest base. Get there quick. National Guard QRF. That's kind of nuts. I'm fairly surprised we didn't have that already, or some plan in place already for that. But I guess the FBI has a kind of QRF with their hostage rescue teams, HRT operators, but National Guard there. All right. Grokipedia. Elon Musk takes on Wikipedia with AI-generated Grokipedia. And Elon Musk, I don't have his X feed up here, but he is all over his X feed promoting Grokipedia as being the superior fact-finding, truth-telling internet encyclopedia. But Elon Musk, he has a vested interest in promoting his companies and narratives to the public that support his companies. He's a business guy. He's an artistic business guy. Autistic. And so some of the shit he says and does, I'm like, that's selfish. Business selfish. Grokipedia. All right. Aside from that little mini tangent there, Grokipedia, I played around with it this morning. Mind you, this is version 0.1. So hopefully version 0.2 or 0.69 or even version 1 will be superior, because this Grokipedia is a couple good things about it. So I don't know. What do you guys want me to type in? I did this on the Pilled stream this morning, live testing of Grok, but let's just type in friggin' QAnon. One cool thing about Grok is that it gives you a little appendix on the left with the headlines of the sections, and then it will give you quite a bit of information quite fast. So it conglomerates quite a bit of info. The bad thing about Grok is that it's Grokaganda. It's quite a bit of propaganda. So you'll see these hyperlinked footnotes where it's sourcing the information, and it mainly sources from either the government, a university, or CSIS.org. That's the cybersecurity agency that basically stole the friggin' 2020 election. Cambridge is one source, friggin' Washington Post, some random science journal, NPR, The Conversation, Scientific American, Associated Press. It sources everything from the mainstream media. And I brought up Q because it's a good topic to highlight that Grokipedia just pushes propaganda. I already recorded a video diving into all the details here where it gets shit wrong, very wrong. Another easy one is like GMO food. Great example here. Empirical data and long-term field studies indicate that approved genetically modified foods are safe for human consumption, with no substantiated evidence of increased health risk after widespread use. And yet, their footnote for this, their source, is the World Health Organization. So Grok is, promoting WHO propaganda with genetically engineered foods. You can type in vaccines, and it's something similar. When it starts talking about safety and efficacy of vaccines, World Health Organization, Merck's website, .gov, CDC, WHO. What else did I search up this morning that was pretty stupid? UFOs. So in the first paragraph here of UFOs, it says, the government has reviewed thousands of UFO cases, resolving the majority as ordinary objects or errors, while finding no verifiable evidence of non-human technology or government reverse engineering programs. Definitely not man-made UFOs. It even bolds that statement. No verifiable evidence of government black projects making UFO type tech. So, Grokaganda. That's why I call it Grokaganda. Sure, there's a little less bias in here. At least Grokipedia does not character attack people. It does not assassinate character like Wikipedia did. The human writers of Wikipedia would often frame people as being conspiracy theorist, far-right, anti-vaccine extremist, blah, blah, blah. So there's less of that. Grokipedia does not defame like Wikipedia did, but it's still mainstream trash brainwashing. So at least on the controversial issues, right? Okay. Use AI to look up recipes or directions or the best things to do in Palm Springs, California. I don't know. Basic, general, non-controversial topics, AI is fine for. Even Wikipedia, Grokipedia, ChatGPT. They're all fine for basic things. But if you're trying to understand deeper truths about reality, don't use AI. Do not use AI. Because AI simply sources whatever language they put into it. That's why they're called large language models, LLMs. It's really not intelligent. It just regurgitates. Artificial regurgitation. So the data sets that are fed into the AI chatbot, that's what it's sourcing the data from to give you the information. ChatGPT mostly sources Wikipedia. Others rely more on Reddit. Because there's so many people typing and chatting on Reddit. That's why Reddit's, I don't want to say a good source, because Reddit is absolutely trash. Left-wing retards on Reddit. They're Redditards. So they'll use whatever they can find that has millions and millions of words in it. Whether it's Wikipedia, Reddit. With Grok, I'm sure they're using X to an extent, which would be more helpful. Granted, there's still a lot of trash on X. So, but with a lot of these AI search engines, the data sets they use to train them are proprietary. So we don't know everything of how they train these AI search engines. We know a little bit, but we don't know everything. Like here's Grok. What data sets does Grok train on? Specific data sets used to train Grok developed by XAI are not fully disclosed, as is common with many AI models. However, based on available information, Grok's training likely involves a combination of publicly available internet data, that would be your Wikipedia, Reddit, X, what have you, and proprietary data sets, whatever that data might be. I don't know. With significant emphasis on real-time data from the X platform. So you're probably never going to get a good AI chatbot that you can ask things like, how did the Twin Towers fall? Or things, you get what I'm saying. So that's a little bit about that. Now let's talk a little bit about big tech layoffs. Amazon to Microsoft. Tech layoffs to affect over 80,000 amid AI-led restructuring. Speaking of AI excuses, maybe this is an excuse. Maybe big tech's struggling, or they have some kind of insider info and they can tell there's a big shakeup coming in the economy or with tech very soon, so they want to downsize beforehand. But whether it's true or not, they're using AI as the reason why they're laying off tens of thousands of people. We used to tell folks to learn to code, but I guess that doesn't really apply anymore. What are we going to tell them now? Learn to podcast. Learn to tweet. Then you can get a job for yourself. Or learn to garden. There you go. Learn to garden. Grow your own food. That'll help feed you. While you're jobless and you can't get SNAP benefits. Ayo. I got no idea why the Rumble feed sucks. People on YouTube are saying the Badlands streams on their Rumble page are having troubles too. Yeah, maybe Rumble just sucks tonight. Let me check. Let me ask the Badlanders. Is Rumble broken? Learn to trade daily. Yeah, I tried that for a little while. But you have to be glued to your computer or your phone and always have alerts set up, and it's really not. I mean, how many people actually make it day trading? Like 5% of people? And then to actually make a living off it. And then do you want that to be the way that you make a living? Is just staring at a computer screen and pressing buttons? And I don't want to call it gambling, because there is some skill and pattern recognition and analysis involved, so it's not gambling. I mean, some people, if they have no idea what they're doing, then they're gambling, but you can learn about it. Technical analysis and all the indicators and all that. But, yeah, I like this comment. Only 3% of people who day trade actually make money, and the other people who make money doing it sell courses. Open a church. They make big bucks. Yeah, right? Learn to sermon. You can get tax exempt status and basically come up with whatever frickin' beliefs or ideas you want. And if you're smooth talking enough, you can get a cult following. Whether it's a church or it's a spiritual organization. Yeah, if you're ever out of a job, just fabricate a story of you being a secret space program whistleblower, alien channeler person, and Guile hire you. They'll bring you on for a few shows. Learn to prompt AI better. Yeah. I'm not a good AI prompter. That is something I could learn better. But I don't really feel the need or have the need. I'll let other people do the AI thing. Let's get back to the news. A few more things and we'll get to the chat. 2 U.S. Navy aircraft go down 30 minutes apart in the South China Sea, both aboard the Nimitz. One was a helicopter, one was an FA-18 Super Hornet. Luckily, all the pilots of both craft survived. The helicopter crew was rescued. The Hornet pilots were able to eject. But 30 minutes, same ship. Sounds like a hacky to me. Is China able to break into or maybe conduct some kind of covert electronic warfare against these aircraft? Sounds like freaking something happened. It's not malfunction. Random malfunction. Then we have the 3 people dead from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. 3 U.S. Air Force members are found dead overnight after husband murdered wife and her colleague before killing himself. So this guy went on a rampage, killed his wife, killed another dude, then killed himself. It sounds to me like maybe she was banging a side dude, and the husband found out and went apeshit. Maybe drugs and alcohol played a part. I don't know. There's scant details on it. But the UFO conspiracy theorists out there are letting their imaginations run wild with this one. Because clicks. Because they want fun stories to be excited by. This UAP Watchers account went a little viral for this post, but 3 researchers are gone, they write, from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, one of the most guarded facilities in the country, long tied to experimental aerospace programs and the classified edges of human performance science. 3 Air Force personnel were found dead a few days ago. All 3 worked inside divisions responsible for research into aerospace materials, the kind of programs that sit close to classified human-machine interface projects. Oh my gosh, awful. With how young they were, 25-year-old, young 30s, they couldn't have been at the tip of the spear of any insane black project. So this is just, they happened to die at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which is a big-ass Air Force base. They just happened to die there. And there also happens to be some classified projects at Wright-Pat. So, there must be a connection. Let me tweet the dumbest shit imaginable and let people assume there's a connection there with the way I write this. Same thing with this Ross Coulthart guy, the Australian reporter for News Nation, who loves to report a bunch of gatekeeper stuff about UFOs. Tragedy at U.S. Air Force Wright-Patterson Base in Ohio. 3 dead in a yet unexplained incident connected to the U.S. Air Force Research Lab. Okay, they worked, a couple of them, worked for the U.S. Air Force Research Lab, but that is foolish and a stretch to say it was connected to the U.S. Air Force Research Lab. Sounds like just a love triangle that went sideways. You have nothing to say it's connected to the Air Force Research Lab. So, speaking of UFOs, the Harvard scientist, gatekeeper, alien guy, Avi Loeb, was on Joe Rogan. And because the whole Atlas, 3I Atlas comet majigger is going through the solar system right now, which I guess so many questions on that. and I don't care. I think it's a nothing burger. It's going to be a nothing burger. There's not a big deal to it. People are spinning up all kinds of theories and blah, blah, blah. I'm not interested in the imagination stuff. Like, give me something to work with. Yeah, Avi Loeb is from Israel. His real name's Abraham. But he runs an NGO called the Galileo Project. And the mission statement of the Galileo Project is to try to find signatures of extraterrestrial intelligence in the cosmos or something like that. So Mr. Avi Loeb here has a vested interest in spinning anything into a alien-related narrative. He wants to get money for his foundation. Yeah. Duh. So, any little light that gets seen in the sky, this guy's going to scream UFO, aliens. Give me money to my foundation so we can research it. Hey, Joe Rogan, have me on. This guy's a dweeb. Snap runs out of money November 1st. States are figuring out how to feed millions of people. What a problem. They can't feed themselves? Are they not adults? Apparently not. They want to suck the teat of the government. Isn't it a doozy that the Department of Interior tells you that when you go to national parks, do not feed the wildlife because they could become dependent on humans to eat. Don't feed the wildlife, says the Department of Interior. Yet, the USDA wants people to continue to receive handouts and become dependent on the hand that feeds them. 42 million people on SNAP. And how many of those, some of these states are even suing the Trump administration to try to stop the suspension of food stamps? Well, how many times did the Senate Democrats vote down a stopgap bill to keep the government funded and open? Because they wanted universal health care for all, health care for illegal immigrants. How many times? I think we're up to 13, maybe 14 now. I don't know what the latest number is, but over a dozen times the Senate Democrats have voted down measures to fund the government simply because it didn't have everything they wanted. More welfare handouts for the illegals. I mean, part of me feels bad that SNAP is supposedly going to run out for people. Because once upon a time, many moons ago, I was on government food benefits for a hot minute, maybe like 2 or 3 months. Oh no, I wasn't on SNAP. It was a state one. It was a state one through Washington. Yeah, it was just for like 3 months. And I sure as shit didn't buy Coke on it. I just bought fish, chicken, and veg. And I was working more than full time. So I was not a leech on society. But, I got off it. And so I get it. I'm not against subsidized food benefits. Some people fall on hard times or shit happens and they might need it for a minute, but dude, I mean, absolutely. Illegal immigrants using this, just lazy piles of shit that are unemployed, that could be employed. They just choose not to have a job and find a way to work the system, get thousands of dollars a month. Like, screw that. And then how much of the $100 billion per year SNAP dollars go to who knows where? Does it all go to the people, or does some of that get laundered? Money laundry. I'm sure. As Cernovich says here, the Snap issue is the next Doge and NGO scandal, I'm sure. Downstream Americans have no idea how these programs are really being used. Oh, I'm sure I could guess. I'm sure I could guess. Cernovich. Newsmax host just said what no one in mainstream media will admit about Snap. There's 42 million people in the country that need food stamps on a weekly basis, and we're saying people deliberately instead of Americans because most of the people that are on food stamps aren't even from this country. 45% of Afghanistan immigrants are on food stamps. 42% of Somali immigrants. 34% of every immigrant from Iraq. 23% of Haitians. 59% of all illegal aliens are collecting food stamps. .59% of all illegal aliens are collecting food stamps. So 60% of all illegal aliens. What's the estimated number of how many illegal immigrants are in this country? How many illegal immigrant in United States? Of course, I'm Googling this, so who knows what kind of propaganda Google's going to give me. Estimated number reached an all-time high in 2023 of 15 million, so probably more realistically like 20 to 25 million at least. 60% of that, 10, 12, 15 million people, illegal immigrants getting government food stamp handouts. Yeah, 10 to 15 at least, probably. So like 25% of the, at least, people on SNAP of the 100 billion a year. Sure. All right. Last topic here. Popular arts and crafts YouTuber Mr. Crafty Pants arrested on child pornography charges. What do they call child pornography when they're trying to be short and politically correct? They call it CP. What is the acronym of this YouTuber's handle? Crafty Pants? CP? Wonder if that was on purpose. I saw some Facebook posts from this weirdo, and guess what? Pizza. I tried looking them up. I couldn't find them. Saw them a few days ago and lost the screenshots of his Facebook page, but he was definitely promoting, I think one of them was a child's shirt. It was merch. Children's merch that said, I love pizza. Or let's have a pizza party or something on it. How many subscribers did he have? 500,000. Well, would you look at that? The case against Mr. Crafty Pants began in August when the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children received a tip about CP being shared via a Kik messaging account. I don't even know what Kik is. And they found a bunch of teenagers. And even younger than that on his devices. Well, no more YouTube channel for him. Yes, we call them PDF files. PDF files. Kik is an app. Yeah, I can guess that. It's Wednesday. That means We'll do some house music. Lo-fi Gangsta's Paradise. I know Kick is a streamer's website. This is a different app. I tried streaming on Kick for a minute, but I only ever had like 5 viewers on there. It's mainly for gaming, so I didn't keep streaming on it. But the Kick messaging app we're talking about is different than the Kick streaming platform. So we're talking about 2 different apps. Mr. Crafty Pants was on the Kick messaging app, not the streaming platform. Oh, I appreciate that, Audrey. What program has the least amount of money off the top when you send it? I don't know. Probably crypto. You know, because Buy Me a Coffee works through Stripe, and Stripe takes 3%. PayPal, I think, is 100%. You could use PayPal. I don't think if it's just sending money between friends, I don't think they take any percentage. I appreciate that, Audrey. Good question. So I'd suggest PayPal or crypto, or just whatever's easiest for you. You don't have to go out of your way for a couple of percent. Rumble is working but not transmitting the chat. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. Let me ask Badlands friends. Trump just posted on Truth Social, the G2 will be convening shortly. Hold on, I gotta look this up. That's a top Keck troll. Huh. Yeah, it sounds like he's about to meet President Xi right now. You know what he means by that. The G2 will be convening shortly. That just means the 2 biggest economies in the world. Which usually, when we're talking about G number, it's like the G20, 20 biggest economy countries, and they all meet, or you have your G10, whatever they call it. So Trump is leaving all of Europe out, pretty much the whole world out, the G2. I don't think I have to worry about copyright strikes on YouTube. I'm not monetized on this channel, so guess I'll just play whatever I want. That's cool. Here's a question. What up, Fever Flav over there on Pilled? Would having colloidal silver in a solar panel help with cooling like in a cat's radiator? That is a question I have no clue about. Keeping the system cool for better efficiency? Yeah, I have no idea, man. Maybe Grokipedia knows. I sure don't. I'm sorry. Oh man, this comment here makes me chuckle about the NBA shakeup with the gambling thing. So I was watching some sports over the weekend, some sports ball, wasting my time with some bread and the circus, and the calls in some of these NFL games were so atrocious. And a couple of those calls in the World Series too. Some clear balls that were called strikes. And some of the, in the NFL, some of the ball placement for those plays and calls from the refs over the weekend were so bad that people were rushing onto Twitter, posting clips of the terrible calls, and then just tagging the FBI. At FBI, investigate this ref. At FBI, MLB needs to be looked at. NFL needs to be looked at. Cracking up. So that's people's go-to now. Just tagging the FBI. Investigate this sports league. Which, yeah, absolutely. They should. Can't let Vegas run the show. It's funny. Have I heard the rumor the debt clock started running backwards? I mean, the debt clock isn't an official debt clock. It's just a website somebody made. They could have just turned it backwards for shits and gigs. You talking about this website? Whoa. I don't want to download that. Get on my screen. It's not going backwards, though. National Debt Clock is a billboard-sized running total display that shows the U.S.'s total debt. The clock's first incarnation was installed in 1989 by a New York real estate developer. So yeah, it looks like just a guy in New York made it, and then somebody made a website associated with it. Some say the interest is running back. Yeah, I don't know. Well, what's his butt? Jerome Powell. Federal Reserve lowered rates today. So maybe someday houses will be more affordable for people. And from what I saw as well, in Florida there, Ron DeSantis was speaking recently, maybe today, within the last few days, about a measure that's going to be voted on, removing property tax. Could very well soon have no property tax in the state of Florida. Isn't that a thing? Buy your house, pay it off, but nope, you still have to pay tax on it. Rent the land from the government, right? You don't own shit. You don't own shit. You think you own your car? Nope. You have to have insurance by law. By law, you got to pay a company so you can drive your car. By law, you got to give the government money so you can quote unquote own the land. You are a slave, bitch. You think you're free? Dude, what is up with Rumble tonight? I'm pissed. Because I can't get the super chats on YouTube. Demonetized channel, but Rumble's being a bitch, so I can't get the rants. Monetized channel. Wait, chat's working now. Oh, all right, neat. Hold on. I just need to do this, I guess. And do that, I guess. All right, now we're working here. Okay, cool. What's up, Rumble? Let me find some tunes. We'll click this one, do that. And we'll go there. Isn't there another state that got rid of property tax? I don't know. Income tax, there's a couple states that don't have income tax. I know Washington State doesn't have an income tax. There's a couple others. Although they tax plenty of other stuff. Very high taxes on tobacco and gas, and very high sales tax in Washington State. So people get excited, ooh, no income tax, but a lot of taxes elsewhere. Montana doesn't have a sales tax, or at least they used to not. Oregon does not have a sales tax, although other taxes are probably higher. So it's like, if they don't get you here, they get you there. I am not aware of any state that does not have a property tax, though. Tennessee and New Hampshire, last 2 years, no property tax there? Nuh-uh. Chat, can we get a fact check? What's up, New World Dyslexicon? I dig that name. New World Disorder. Let me go through some of these Rumble comments here since I'm late. Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones are still not back on YouTube. Bummer. They'll be fine. Their platform's pretty darn big. Let me just get these audio levels. All right, there we go. Yeah, Nick Fuentes, Alex Jones, they'll be fine. I don't know why they're complaining. AI broke the language. 3i Atlas warning of a nova star explosion affecting Earth. Within 120 days, you're scared? Where in the shit did you hear that? Language on the Atlas? AI broke the language on the Atlas, warning of a nova star explosion affecting Earth within 120 days. Now you're scared. That sounds like some TikTok Delulu stuff. I wouldn't worry about that, man. Wouldn't worry about that. AI, artificial ignorance. Yeah. Ronald Reagan stated the U.S. will have 200 astronauts in space. That would take a lot of space shuttles or secret space vehicles. I am aware of that. Oh, man. Was it like off the record? or was it a classified briefing that got declassified? Something like that. But it was like in some meeting, Ronald Reagan was either briefed or said that the U.S. has the capability of putting a few hundred astronauts in space, when at the time we only had like 4 or 5 shuttles that could only take a total of like 30 to 40 astronauts in space. So for him to say a few hundred was, an interesting piece of evidence to suggest that there were secret space craft of some sort, whether rocket propelled or propelled by other means. I'm aware of what you're talking about with that Ronald Reagan statement. One great thing about Reddit is the aquarium hobbyists. They are wonderful hobby communities. If politics is attempted, it's quickly downvoted. Soup pets only. Yeah, there might be some good Reddit communities here and there. Don't get me wrong. There are, actually. I found a couple that are okay. When the mods are all right and they specifically try to keep politics out of their chats, but so many Reddit communities don't do that. And they fully allow politics to get talked about, and then it just turns into this cesspool of progressivism. Anything that's counterculture to the agendas of the Reddit moderators gets downvoted, and if it's Reddit, it's left-wing psycho trash. So I don't even think I've ever created a Reddit account. Thank gosh. Can I get a brief rundown of 3i Atlas? Honestly, I haven't really cared about it. And I haven't cared about it because of all of the clickbait trash I see on social media about it. So as far as I understand, and I only understand what the official narrative is, but honestly, the official narrative in this case might be legit, looks to me like a frickin' comet. Just a comet. Maybe it has a mysterious path, and it's some sort of rock or comet that was artificially altered in its trajectory to be sent through the solar system. Yeah, maybe, but everything else, I'm like, I'm not even gonna waste my time on this. What kind of... You for real? What do I think about David Wilcock? Is he really Archangel Michael's ambassador to Earth? What?
I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna... Sorry, I'm not gonna bother with that one. Maybe in his own mind. Probably only in his own mind is he a Archangel Michael's ambassador to Earth? What? That's a doozy.
The frontier was everywhere. We were bounded only by the earth and the ocean and the sky.
Frankie McDonald says it passes tonight. You talking about quite frankly? Is that the Frankie you're talking about? I think that's the only Frank I know is quite frankly. Yeah, I believe with the whole Atlas, 3i Atlas thing, it's closest. It's going to be closest to the sun tonight. Frankie McDonald is not quite frankly. Okay, then I do not know Frankie McDonald. r/destroying the illusion. Should we make a destroying the illusion subreddit and see how quick it gets banned? Dal says, I've already laid claim to the Admiral of the Galactic Federation. So back off. Hey, Susan, thank you for being a monthly supporter on Rumble. No, we're not dealing with galactic federations anymore. We're dealing with being ambassadors of archangels. Big difference, man. Big difference. Sometimes I wish I had the schizophrenia to come up with fun stories in my head and then genuinely believe them about myself. I would feel so good about myself if my brain worked that way. Like, wow, this alien race is contacting me to be their earthly representative. Wow, these archangel beings want me to be their Earth ambassador. Wow. Man, what an ego kick you'd get off that. You'd feel so good about yourself. I really wish I could believe those kinds of things about me. Maybe with enough drugs, my brain could have that sort of fun. All right, guys. Any last questions, comments, concerns, complaints? Drop them in the chat. Otherwise, I think that is all for this evening. I'll be on Pilled tomorrow morning. If you're bored in the mornings or if you want to come hang out with me while I research the news of the day and get ready for my work of the day, you can come hang out with me on Pilled. Probably 8 a.m. Pacific. 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. So, just chill on Pilled. Chill on Pilled. Basically, just see what's going on. Get ready for the day. Ask questions, hang out, drink my coffee. Come see me on Pilled in the mornings. Otherwise, appreciate y'all. Music out. Have fun, stay safe. Make good choices. Eat healthy, go exercise. Do what you need to do to F the system. And I'll see you guys in a couple days here on Rumble and YouTube. Next stream Friday. So if you don't see me on Pilled, I'll see you on Friday. All right, see you guys.